Well, tonight we have another special guest with us, and she's going to come. She was a missionary for many, many years. And so tonight I introduce to you Amy Carmichael. Would you please come?
The children are finally sleeping. Oh, maybe I can steal a moment to myself. Write my mother a letter. Yes. Dearest mother, so many times I think of your words. He who hath led will lead all through the wilderness. He loveth always, faileth never, so rest on him today, forever. I have been resting on him all these years since arriving in India. I still remember waving goodbye to you in my Ireland home. Only 24 years of wisdom. I now understand your worry. I also imagine your surprise when I wrote to you of my journeying to this country. Only 7 years of living behind the walls of Dohnavur. It feels quite like home. More than Japan or Ceylon ever did when I served as missionary there. Though they were not years spent in vain, they prepared me for the work that I'm doing here today. Today I'm sterilizing bottles and wiping sniffly noses, singing countless hymns, all while looking into 5 precious faces with heart-melting brown eyes. I've once questioned which was the greater missions work, serving in the jungles of India or playing nursery maid to a household of young children. I now know that children tie a mother's feet, but I must allow my feet to be tied for the sake of him whose feet were once nailed. It is here among the motherly chores that I once called second best, that I have learned the secret to great living, its entire separation to Christ and devotion to him. Thus speaks every man and woman whose life has made more than a passing flicker in the spiritual realm. It's a life that has no time for trifling that counts. And judging by the contents of these letters, I have no time for trifling. March 7th, 1901. It's a day I'll never forget. It's a day when something began and I was rooted for life. And that root began with a little girl named Prina. You remember how our first adopted temple child showed up on our doorsteps? Her branded hands bore scars of her attempts to escape that foul abyss that's glorified in Hindu eyes by the sanctions of religion. The rumors of the temple prostitution shares details that darken even sunlight. It shows a secret path into the lives and souls of these children who are offered willingly by their starving parents. When little Prina carried her burdened soul to my lap, I took every ounce of strength not to cry, so I kissed her burdened hands instead. Since then, 4 more children have been added to the Dohnavur nursery. They are not temple children, but God knows my burden to save these lost souls. It is here I understand that I must live in his will and not in my own feelings. Are they still of chief interest among the young women back home? Fashionable Christianity sure is rampant here in India as well. Though the preoccupations don't seem to change much from generation to generation, but there are some who do make other choices. I find rest and comfort in the verse, "He hath made himself no reputation, but took upon him the form of a bondservant." Pray that we'll see the truth of this verse in India. Here in India, with the demonic sounds of the tom-tom and the blood sacrifices being made within earshot, threaten to deafen my soul. Yet safe behind these walls, I know that he requires time. Time was required in bringing Prina into my life, and time will be required in bringing more. I'm reminded of the rainy season, when the wind beats against the trees, threatening to break them in half. It isn't visible, but deep beneath the soil, the roots stretch and strengthen. Let it be so with me. Let me not be weakly yielding to every wind that blows, but strong in spirit, not giving in to every sin that hangs thick in the air. A cry from the nursery. I must close here. I send my love, along with 5 wisps of dark hair from each of your grandbabies. Rest assured that I am most happy doing the work that he's placed in my lap. Devotedly his, Amy.